ICE says its officers can forcibly enter homes during immigration operations without a judge's warrant. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Kyle Clark. This ICE policy, a shift from long-held constitutional norms, was revealed in a memo that a whistleblower shared with Congress. It would be a sweeping change in tactics for President Trump's army of deportation agents. The memo says that ICE agents are allowed to forcibly enter someone's home using an administrative warrant, as in like an ICE warrant, if a judge has issued an immigration removal order. Administrative warrants allow officers and agents to make arrests. They are different from judicial warrants. Those are warrants signed by judges or magistrates. Those are the warrants that typically allow entry into someone's house in America. The memo goes on to say that ICE agents generally shouldn't be busting into people's houses before 6 in the morning or after 10 at night, and that they should, quote, only use a necessary and reasonable amount of force. The shift comes as the Trump administration dramatically expands immigration arrests nationwide, deploying thousands of officers under a mass deportation campaign that is reshaping enforcement tactics in cities like Minneapolis. The town of Hudson, Colorado, could be home to one of the next large ICE detention centers, according to documents obtained by the ACLU. ICE identified the unused prison in the small town in Weld County, about 30 miles northeast of Denver last year, as a likely site. The most recent document released earlier this month confirmed ICE is moving forward with plans to turn that former private prison into what the agency is calling the Bighorn Correctional Facility. That's not sitting well with folks who attended a town council meeting in Hudson tonight.
I'm crying because I can't believe my daughter is growing up in a time where we have to have these conversations. And I can't believe it has gotten this far to where you have to have this whole community show up from around the state of Colorado, and you didn't realize that this was going to happen.
The ACLU claims that ICE has not been transparent about its plans in Hudson. 9 News reached out to the mayor there. We have not heard back.
Ooh, it was quite the sunset across the state out there. Hope you got a chance to get out in that mild weather today, because you're going to need to layer up as we head into the weekend. Another round of snow, and then the Arctic cold is coming in with it. That's why I want to get to Corey with the news, if you will. Not looking good.
Well, I mean, you didn't think you'd get through the whole winter without dropping below zero, did you? Well, you know,
no, and we shouldn't.
No, it has happened before in Denver, but very few times has that ever happened. We may have our chance at our first negative this weekend. The storm starts on Friday morning. It'll be some snow out here on the western slope. We do have winter weather advisories in place. This is not a lot of snow for 48 hours of snow, but it is more than we've seen in a while. So we're going to take that for sure. Winter weather advisories go until Sunday morning. For us here on the Front Range, the big impact is going to be the temperatures. The coldest air we've seen so far, and these are trending down. Highs in the teens, could end up single-digit highs. 0-degree lows could be negatives. Those are trending down here for Saturday. That's why we have the weather impact alert for Saturday. It's going to have a big impact on the last weekend of the National Western Stock Show in North Denver. Tomorrow, not too bad. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures might not make it to 40, though. The orange is for potential. We're watching for the impact of that snow on Friday. And then the big impact, of course, is a slam dunk here on Saturday. More details coming up in just a few minutes.
The city of Denver continues to insist it didn't scale back a finalized road safety project because a billionaire's family hired a lobbyist to oppose it.
After spending months justifying the change to some angry neighbors along Alameda, the city now says it will test the original plan and test the watered-down safety plan. 9 News reporter Spencer Soysher explains.
I'm really having a hard time buying that.
Denver's Department of Transportation and Infrastructure has spent months defending its plan to scale back a finalized road safety project on Alameda, a street with more than 200 crashes in the last 5 years. On Wednesday, Dottie presented their new plan to city council members. A Q&A was supposed to follow. Instead, that Q&A became a roast.
Your trust and integrity on this project is nil.
I have too much respect for our engineers to believe they're doing that kind of job.
City council members ripped into the changes to a project that was supposed to eliminate a lane on each side of Alameda, but was scrapped after a member of Colorado's richest family hired a lobbyist to complain that traffic would back up by their nearby home.
What emails are we weighing? Is it the person that's home got ran into, Or is it the person who's getting inconvenienced by a few minutes?
During the city's presentation, Director Amy Ford said the city will now test out both plans.
We thought maybe it was important to take it out of the realm of the projections and the assumptions.
In Ford's PowerPoint, the department wrote the Anschutz-back plan, which only eliminates one lane on one side, is actually safer for pedestrians.
I mean, I honestly laughed out loud when I saw how they ranked the safety benefit to pedestrians.
CU Denver civil engineering professor Wes Marshall now wonders about the demo, too.
If they're comparing what they're comparing in the slide deck I saw, it's going to be pointless.
City Council member Sarah Parody agrees.
The fact that you're putting it up there tells me that you're trying to reach a predetermined outcome.
Perhaps the city's position has changed. A city document from just last month shows the city giving both plans a good grade for pedestrian safety. But in its presentation today, the original plan is now scored as moderate.
Dottie has been very honest and open about what we've been doing this whole time.
Spencer Soysher, 9 News.
The city's transportation director said today they don't know how much testing those two plans will cost, and in fact, they don't even know how they're going to do it.
It'll be the hottest ticket in town. Sunday's matchup between the Broncos and Patriots at Mile High. Big events like that tend to attract people with bad intentions, like trying to cash in on those pricey tickets. Steve on your side has tips to make sure you're getting a legit ticket if you want to go to the game. First, avoid searching for any ticket on social media. A lot of people think that might be a better way to get a good deal, but the Better Business Bureau says that's where their scam tracker is full of reports of people who were fooled with fake tickets. It's best to go through a reputable sales site like Ticketmaster or resellers like StubHub or SeatGeek. And if you're buying from a ticket broker, ensure they're certified by the National Association of Ticket Brokers. And the BBB says how you pay for your tickets, that matters too.
Whenever possible, pay for these tickets with a credit card. Your credit card company is going to give you extra protections that you aren't going to be able to get, especially if you send someone money through like Venmo or PayPal or Zelle, like a Cash App. That's basically just like handing somebody cash and it's really hard to get that back.
So do your research and find out where you're buying anything from. Any deal that's too good to be true always is. So. It's easy to get pretty worked up when your favorite team is on the field, you know, tense, emotions high.
Yeah, gets the blood pumping, you know, and I mean, people are gonna be jacked up for this weekend's AFC Championship. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is along now, and Shalima, getting that lathered up is not always entirely harmless on somebody's health.
That's exactly it. We caught up with a fan who knows that firsthand. He was there last week when the Bills were in town, and he will be at Mile High on Sunday.
This whole season has been like living on the edge.
And Mark Pumphrey,
And both of those pass interference calls happened in front of me.
is relishing every moment.
And I'm telling you, they were pass interference.
A season ticket holder for more than 40 years, he's experienced all the highs and the lows.
I was walking down the street and I had this out of the blue, the first ever anxiety attack.
Pumphrey says it was one part personal issues and one part pandemonium that had him stressing ahead of Super Bowl 12 in New Orleans.
Like real, like I thought I was having a heart attack.
Oh, I get it. We've been waiting years for this.
Dr. Chris Post is an emergency medicine physician at Advent Health in Parker.
Rationale behind it is that, if you get really emotionally invested and you start, cheering, you get really stressed out about things, you actually sort of activate part of your sort of fight or flight, your sympathetic nervous system.
Driving up your blood pressure and your heart rate. Something Post says most people can handle.
A lot of it's just knowing if you have risk factors like high blood pressure, cholesterol problems, diabetes, or if you have, known underlying heart disease.
My average heart rate was...
As for Mark Pumphrey...
from 40 to 147 beats per minute on the 17th. 147, I never go to 147. So it must have been when we were kicking the field goal and I was hiding my eyes.
Saturday's big win against the Bills had him on the edge of his seat. His fitness tracker agrees.
What I say is I was having fun. My heart was excited.
So excited, and he can't wait for Sunday. Dr. Post is also a diehard Broncos fan and plans to be at Sunday's game. He says it's also important to stay hydrated and to watch your alcohol consumption. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.